What up, everybody? Crypto Cody here with Bitcoin fam. If you guys could please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, that would mean the world to us. Let's dive into the video.
Cryptocurrency exchange Bybit disclosing on Friday that it was hacked in what could be the largest crypto heist ever. Join us right now to discuss the crypto market and what's just happened. Anthony Pompliano is the founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management and author of How to Live an Extraordinary Life.
$1.5 billion, guys. That's a freaking crazy amount of money. It's crazy.
Anthony is hosting New York Bitcoin Investor Week, which we'll get to as well. Good morning. So how much should we worry about the safety or security, if you will, of crypto after this situation?
Well, look, anytime that you have a hack, people obviously get worried about this. But the way that I describe it, the Treasury and the Fed has never been hacked. The further you get away from the creation of the money point, then you get less secure. Banks have been hacked, armored cars have been hacked, or people have had money stolen from their wallet. Same thing in crypto. The blockchain itself, the Bitcoin blockchain has never been hacked. But if you go and you take that and you put it in an exchange or you put it in some sort of custody solution, those can get hacked. And so I think it's important to pay attention to. The most impressive part to me, though, was this was a $1.4, $1.5 billion hack.
Yeah.
Customers obviously were worried. They ran to the exchange. They withdrew $4 billion. No problem. And so
yeah, and just, by the way, Bybit, guys, it's an exchange. But there's an option on Bybit that a lot of people are really attracted to, which is called leverage trading. It's where people will literally bet, or multiply their trade by betting on it. And the issue with that, though, is that if whether you do long or short trades with that, you could liquidate your money and just gone. And so that's why, we've seen in the past quite a bit of money liquidations, which then just causes a massive sell-off frenzy, So, when the market's just crashing, you'll just see all of this money just liquidating like crazy. So anyways, this was not obviously a liquidation. This was like a freaking heist, which is insane. Like a very, very insane one.
obviously the exchange had the money.
Right.
Usually what we've seen is when these things happen, the exchange gets caught, not having the money or there's some sort of issue. But I think that really the system kind of worked how it was supposed to, and now they're going to work to try to recover that $1.4 billion that was taken from them.
What are you thinking right now, just in terms of price of Bitcoin?
How are you going to recover that? Like, how in the world? And I think it was Ethereum, by the way. I think it was $1.5 billion in Ethereum, I believe.
It's off the highs. Some people had talked about it going to $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. Where are we on that journey, if that journey is right? We've had other people come on and say there's a floor at 70,000, and we still have these big debates about strategic reserves being built, but we also have big questions about what the Federal Reserve is going to do.
So I think
it's a floor at 75,000. You heard it here.
Trend, not specifics, right? Everyone's going to come out with these price targets. I have no clue where the price is going to go in terms of exact number. But what I do know is that in these bull markets historically, we've seen very big drawdowns. In 2017, Bitcoin went up about 20x, but there were 6 different drawdowns of 30% on the way to that 20x in a single year. What we've seen lately is actually those drawdowns are much more muted. So you're getting about 15% drawdowns. And so what that tells me is, one, there's a persistent bid for people who want Bitcoin. But second is that there likely is going to be less volatility to the upside as well.
Right.
Now, the beauty of Bitcoin is that less volatility to the upside means that maybe we go up 10x off the bottom.
We just talked about it last week, Anthony, that finally it's acting.
I mean, can you imagine that? We could just go on a tear, which honestly, listen, guys, I got to say, as far as the market goes right now, it's just been crapping the bed. But I will say this. We see it every time. I mean, we really do. The last bull run, we saw this happen around May. It was around that time, I'd say we're early right now in this correction. And by the way, I call this, I'm no financial advisor here, so please don't just take my word for it. I mean, obviously, I'm just a crypto enthusiast here, but what I will say is that I've been through multiple bear markets, and this is not a bear market. This is just a massive correction, is really the way that I see it. And we have a lot more higher heights to see, I believe, but I don't think it's going to last that long. I don't think it's going to go into 2026, so, but this kind of news right here is just, we see this all the time. We see this kind of crap all the time.
Something that almost could be used as a currency because it's been 95,000 basically for 8 weeks. Do you think if the Fed doesn't cut this year, is there any reason for Bitcoin to go up? It's so, I mean, it just, to me, it looks like every time it looks like an easing cycle is coming, that's when it goes. And when it looks like it isn't, even though it's counterintuitive because you get a hot inflation number, that's why you supposedly own things like gold and Bitcoin because of inflation. But a hot inflation number means the Fed doesn't cut. So,
Yeah.
and then Bitcoin goes down.
Yeah, there was this great study done by this guy, Sam Callahan, and what he basically said was Bitcoin is the most sensitive asset to global liquidity. So global liquidity is really, really important to pay attention to.
Well, that's just a risk-on thing.
To a point. Now, the other thing I'm paying attention to is this idea that's being popularized by Jim Bianco, which is the Mar-a-Lago Accord. And basically the idea is that the dollar's too strong, and instead what we're going to use is we're going to use tariffs, we're going to go and we're going to use the sovereign wealth fund, and then we're also going to get payment for security. Those three things, the general idea is to reduce the debt, get interest rates down, and weaken the dollar. If you're able to do that, I think that would be very good for Bitcoin and for stocks. And so the question is, how successful are they going to?
Because the reality is that you can manipulate the dollar. You can't really manipulate crypto. Yeah, I mean, well, specifically Bitcoin, because there's 21 million supply, max supply, and that hasn't changed and never will change. So it's completely 100% solely on what the people decide it's on based on their actual supply and demand holdings.
In implementing this plan. We know the sovereign wealth fund is coming. We know that they're implementing the tariffs. Can they get the payment for security in Europe is another question. But I think that these are all things that they're trying to do, and that would be good for asset prices.
The SEC dropping its case against Coinbase. How significant is that in terms of what you think is a relatively, I imagine, hands-off policy?
No, that is massively significant because this is one of the greatest exchanges in the world for cryptocurrency. And the government has chosen to drop and not fight. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's chosen to do the opposite, is to join and partner with. You know, there's a lot of crazy things that are going to be going on with the new SEC chairman and with major serious crypto exchanges that are involved. You're going to see some massive, massive things happening right now. Things that the media is not talking about right now because the media is just so caught up in other things right now. But there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes right now with cryptocurrency that is just going to come out, and it's going to be an explosion. And I think it's what's going to drive the new rumors. You know, buy the rumors, sell the news. We haven't heard the rumors yet. We have not heard the rumors that are happening behind the scenes with cryptocurrency. Trust me, you wouldn't see what's happening right now. But what's happening right now is not a lot of news that's happening. And if there is any news that's happening, it's stupid stories like this Bybit hack. I mean, there's some crazy things that are happening behind the scenes. And those rumors, when they come out, you're going to see this bull market just explode. And that's the way I see it.
Minimum for the crypto industry, at least for the next 3.5 years.
Yeah. So Coinbase specifically, I don't think many people were not buying Coinbase stock because they had this lawsuit going on, this regulatory issue. And when the lawsuit was dismissed, you didn't see a big pop in the price or anything. So I don't think that from a company perspective, people were really worried about it. It was kind of par for the course. If you were a public company in crypto, you likely had a tussle with the regulators. But what I do think it does is it signifies a changing of the guard, right? You're going to drop this and they're saying, hey, moving forward, we're going to create clear rules and regulations. We want to actually encourage this innovation. We want to be supportive of the industry.
And that right there is the key, you know, that we've all been wanting, is we've been just wanting clear rules and regulations. What in the world is happening? Like, why, you know, because all you would see is just like, you know, bans from exchanges. We're going to ban this exchange from this country to this country, you know, and it's just like, what in the world, dude? Like all this, one minute we can use Binance, the next we can't, you know, what, I mean, it's just, what is happening, you know? So clarity is so key for mass adoption. And I think that is what's happening behind the scenes right now.
So the dropping of that case is
and that's
pretty
a large
big
part because the industry decided to support Trump and put a lot of money into this administration.
Look, one of the
behind this administration.
Yeah, one of the weird things about, I think, business and finance is people have become much more political. And when I get asked why did people become more political, I always say that I don't think business and finance people were more interested in politics all of a sudden. I think what happened is that politics and regulators started to meddle in business and finance, and those people realized either we start to participate here or we're going to get steamrolled.
Yes, that's it right there. If the business people are not investing in politics the way that politics are investing in business, then they will get steamrolled. Absolutely, that's going to happen. So, and that's why you're seeing people like Elon Musk getting involved in politics. It's it's wise to be involved in reducing massive government. And that's what business people are doing, is they're saying, no, we the people are going to take over as we're supposed to. We the people are going to control, not the government. And so that's what's happening right now. And I think cryptocurrency is playing a massive part of that independence that the United States stands. One republic, you know?
Is what's had a huge impact, right? There was not a lot of money going into, the Biden administration, and they had whatever their view was of crypto. Now there's an administration that had a lot of money put behind it.
Yeah, money in politics is a really interesting thing because on one hand, you have the person who actually raised less money and spent less money became the president in this election. But on the other hand, definitely money is something that is going to change people's mind. But I think that the more important thing for Trump and his administration is that they all actually own these assets. If you go through the cabinet, if you go through a lot of the nominations, they own Bitcoin. And
no, they're literally, all of the people in Trump's cabinet are basically cryptocurrency holders. That's just the reality. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how positive and pro the Trump administration's cabinet is. It is just jaw-dropping how much of a backing we have in government behind crypto now. It's like he truly has become and is becoming the crypto president. It's amazing.
So is that not trouble you, though? Because I think that you and others have come out quite publicly and said, there have been questions about Nancy Pelosi and her husband and
insider
questions
trading
about all sorts of folks in Congress who have owned different stocks or assets. And people have said this is totally wrong and totally conflicted. Now this administration owns all of these assets, and everyone's like, it's fine. And actually, it's a good thing because they understand it better now.
So that's the double-edged sword, right? I actually don't think people have a problem with politicians owning stocks. One of my favorite stats is Ken Langone once gave an interview, and he said that his average holding period is 42 years. People aren't really worried about what decisions he's making on a day-to-day basis. I think the problem that people have is when you're actually actively trading around certain events that are occurring.
Well, exactly, and that's the key right there. See, with stocks, there's a lot of things that happen with, companies changing and whatnot. What's different with Bitcoin specifically is that it is a decentralized asset that doesn't have a company that's behind it. It's simply just the trust of the people. So the only thing that could really happen for insider trading, quote unquote, would be if the Trump administration was to sign executive orders that was, basically dealing with cryptocurrency specifically, or making deals that's just going to cause it to, explode and whatnot. But I mean, I think that it's good to have these. It's good for. These are businessmen, by the way, businessmen and women that are running the country right now. And I don't want a country that's run by people that are not business people, that don't know how to handle money. And right now, for the first time in years, we have an entire administration that understands how to run businesses, not just behind the scenes pumps and dumps and insider trading bullcrap, And might I remind everybody here, most of the people that, like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, people like that, they're so incredibly wealthy. It's like, I don't even think they're thinking about money for themselves. They're probably not even thinking. They're really just thinking about wanting to actually have the status of the best president and the best government auditor of all time. Whatever. I mean, that's what they want, is they want to have the status of being the best and most impactful for the United States of America. And that's what they're after. And that's what they're probably going to get because of what they've achieved in the first freaking month of the Trump administration.
The action of trading versus just holding for a long term. Same thing with Bitcoin is if we have people who are actively trading Bitcoin based on different things that politicians are doing, I think that would be a problem. But if people are just buying, holding, dollar cost averaging into...
How do you feel about meme coins then? President and the president's wife?
Yeah, I think that meme coins are a pretty big distraction from what actually is going to end up being the work that people need to focus on. And you see that, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, I don't see anyone talking about putting...
I agree with that, but at the same time, I also think that meme coins, this is just the beginning. Because I think what's going to happen is as cryptocurrency continues to progress, you're going to have a lot of celebrities and different people that are like, you know what? Why don't I just have a meme coin about me? And it's just like, and it's basically like a signature, if you will. Like that's to me what a meme coin is, as far as value goes, is it's a piece of somebody's signature. That's really what it is. You are owning a piece of somebody's signature. So imagine if Michael Jordan put out the Michael Jordan meme coin, okay? And are they all going to pump and dump? Sure. Yeah, of course they are. But eventually they'll find their face value, just like everything does. Doge, for instance. Like, it's absolutely hysterically awesome what Doge has become and the symbol that it has become. Literally down to the point where it's actually now got the face value of being the government auditor. Like, that's hilarious, you know? Takes the attention of the richest man in the world. That's amazing. Like, and it was a joke. That's the irony of the whole thing. So, yeah, it's a distraction, but I also think it's not. I think it's actually just part of the actual crypto growth and culture that is going to be taking place. And you're going to see a crap ton of meme coins come out. Like, we're talking every celebrity that you could possibly think of is going to launch one. Because it just makes sense. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Meme coins in there. I think that there is an understanding that there's kind of an entertainment angle to a lot of this industry, but the really serious people, the people who want to go and actually have a positive impact on the country and on the economy, they're focused on Bitcoin.
Yeah. So anyways, that's a really interesting interview. And I agree with him. In the end, Bitcoin, BTC is king of the cryptos. And, all these meme coins in the end are really just going to kind of develop their own status of face value in the market cap of cryptocurrencies. It's really just the novelties of it. That's just what it's going to come down to. But I do agree with him that if you focus in on truly what the true digital gold here is Bitcoin, and that's going to remain that. And I think that there's something to be said for the accumulation of that, squirreling that away more so than just some random meme coin. But yeah, what an interesting interview. Anyways, guys, please just like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification. That would mean the world to us. Love to have you guys back for another one.